God of War Ragnarok coming out in only a few months, this game's marketing that everyone is really talking about right now hasn't really been showing off more stuff like a typical game would. We actually got a reveal trailer, which was a cool story type trailer, but we did get a CGI trailer, and then we have a recap trailer that are all pretty much about God of War Ragnarok, but not really showing off anything about the game. Now again, people have been talking about the marketing a ton, and I want to list some reasons why they might be going down this route. And at the very end, after I list all of the reasons and talk about it, I want to ask you, do we really need another God of War trailer to show off the game? Now, I will admit that the marketing is pretty weird, right? In terms of trailers, in terms of, things that you would usually get at this stage of a huge release, probably one of Sony's biggest releases I think there ever was. But I think the main reason is, how do you continue to show off the game without giving up spoilers? What are they really supposed to do? They did already show us a ton of stuff in the initial gameplay reveal trailer, which was also kind of the story trailer as well. It showed off pretty much everything that we could possibly want in a trailer, and I think that trailer was perfect. However, if you start showing off even more, then we know more to expect, and I think they're trying to keep that close to their chest. There was another huge Sony release that tried to attack this problem and did it in a different way, but the way they did it did seem deceiving. Naughty Dog, potential spoilers for Last of Us Part 2 ahead. I will try my best to not go into that game's story because it really doesn't matter that much, but slight spoilers. So Naughty Dog, they did try to change the way trailers are kind of done with their marketing, trying to hide back the story secrets, because that is what Last of Us is mainly going to draw people in, is the story. And in the first trailers of The Last of Us Part 2, there were two scenes that were changed in the trailer. It showed Joel in spots in the trailers that he wouldn't make it in the actual game, and they replaced his character model. Joel in the trailer was very strong when he appeared. However, in the actual game, he was replaced by a character catching his breath. There are parallels to Joel in the first trailers and the character in the actual game. And I think the very first Last of Us Part 2 trailer showed Ellie in a house, and Joel was showing up as well to talk to her. That scene didn't happen at all. Although I was upset about this, when everything first happened, I do understand now it was the correct way to show off, the game and some plot lines, but not really showing off the fact that this character does not make it this far. Now with God of War, we're going to all 9 realms, but they can't show off all 9 realms because that would just ruin the surprise, showing us the players way too much. It's why the only realm we kind of saw in the first trailer was just Swavelheim, just to give us that little glimpse, that little excitement, but they didn't even really go too in depth of Swavelheim. We saw in a shot in the trailer that the realm is actually huge, and we only saw a portion of it, just to let us, the players, know that we will be traveling to different realms. I think the more that they show off someone like Thor, again, he is a huge figure in the game. Players cannot wait to see Kratos and Thor to interact, and the only thing they really gave about Thor is basically the same scene we got at the end of God of War 2018. We know Thor was going to be in the game, he had the hammer out, so they didn't really even show off Thor at all. They showed us what he looks like because they want to show off what the actors are going to do, but we didn't really get anything for Thor if you really think about it. They already showed off a ton of different enemies we'll be fighting in the game. They showed a ton of different animations Kratos can do in terms of attacking. They showed off some of Atreus' power. They showed off Tyr. They showed off Angrboda. And some may argue that they showed a little bit too much in that first trailer. I still remember to this day being on Twitter and me having conversations with a ton of people, and then someone would link us something that's already been announced. I remember me and Furore were talking about who's going to be the Raven King, and it turned out the Raven King already has an actress. So everything we were saying just completely went out of the window, and it was a great conversation as well. I still remember watching the first trailer, seeing Angrboda, me yelling that, yeah, that's Angrboda, and I had like 4 videos instantly pop into my mind, and they just announced that it's Angrboda, which is cool, but it just takes out that conversation aspect, that mystery. Some may say that trailer showed off a little bit too much. I think it's the perfect trailer, but following up on that, I don't know if that's the smartest of ideas. Especially because this game is set to release pretty much around the corner. It's really close. November is only a few months away. And I'm not gonna lie, although now I understand why Naughty Dog put Joel's face in the trailer and parts he would never show up in the main game, but to this day, I hate that, right? I don't like that at all. It feels like they're just deceiving us. It feels dirty, you know? Even though I get it, I don't like it, and I don't want it to happen again. I don't want them to manipulate the trailers to hide stuff, you know? Even though it makes sense, again. Even though a lot of Marvel movies do this as well, and it's existed throughout the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe, where things in the trailers just don't happen the same way they do in the movies. But again, we're talking about video games here, and I think that just doing that type of thing, I don't know, it just really rubs me the wrong way. Imagine this, you got God of War Ragnarok, you put it in your PS5 or your PS4, and then you're playing, and then Thor pops up, right? But it's not that same scene that we've seen. Thor pops up and absolutely smacks Kratos in the head with the hammer, and then he hits Kratos in the air and comes down, and there's a huge explosion like a mountain or some shit. You're playing that first time seeing it, you're gonna get excited, you're gonna get angry, you're gonna feel the way you feel. Now, let's say that they showed it off in a trailer tomorrow, that same scene. When that game comes out, you're not that excited because you knew that this was going to happen in the game. So, that's the way I see it. So, I want to ask you the question. Do we really need another trailer showing off the game? I think we are going to get at least one more, the release date. However, again, they might do what they've been doing and either make it CGI, or they're going to, do like a presentation like the Myths of Midgard trailer that we got. But I think in terms of hype, I think the hype is already there. You do not need, if you're watching this video, you do not need to be even more hyped for God of War Ragnarok than you already are, and I think we don't need another trailer showing off the game. I'm fine with these presentations that they've been doing because they've been doing it really fucking well. These aren't just simple basic presentations, these are a whole experience, which I really do like.
You are not ready for this!
I am ready!
And here I thought my family was fucked up. Oh, your father is right, boy. You are far from ready. Now would you be so kind as to hold this for me? Thank you.
Atreus!